The end of Modern Warfare 3 is finally here. I'm honestly not ready for this year to end, man. This has been a great year for Call of Duty, and I'm really sad to see Modern Warfare 3 go. So this right here is the Balloon Test skin, which is one of two new skins that you get for completing the final event, or at least what we believe to be the final event of Modern Warfare 3, that being Modern Warfare 3 Rewind. And it's basically like a pretty cool combination of all the events that have led up to this moment. So we're gonna go through how to complete the event so you can unlock this skin as well as all the other rewards. Unlike literally every other event in Modern Warfare 3 so far, you cannot do this in Warzone or Zombies. You have to do it in Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. So if you're a free-to-play player only, I don't think you're actually going to be able to do this. Anyway, the event says Modern Warfare 3 Rewind. That's a wrap, folks. Take a walk down memory lane and complete challenges to earn rewards. So we'll go through all of these here. There is quite a number to go through, so please bear with me. The first challenge is to get 10 operator kills with a melee weapon while sliding or shortly after sprinting, which gets you the hard copy emblem. After that, for the Krampus in Town large decal, you need to get 2 operator kills with an LMG or pistol within 15 seconds 5 times, aka just, get a couple double kills, you get that done no problem. Get 7 operator kills with the Jack Purifier or Thermobaric Grenade Lethal in order to get the Live Laugh Lava camo. After that, to get the Hangry Emblem, you need to get 3 operator double kills with the Spear or Sledgehammer, get 7 operator double kills with an Akimbo attachment equipped to an SMG for the Dance of the Cockroaches large decal. To get the Sunset Armageddon camo, you need to get 15 operator kills with a suppressed weapon and the Blacklight Flashlight perk equipped. To get the Cloudy Day camo, you need to get 7 one-shot, one-kill operator kills with the crossbow or Torque 35. After that, you need to get 5 operator headshot kills with LMGs for the side-scroller calling card. To get the Curated Collection calling card, you're going to need to get 10 operator one-shot, one-kills or melee kills. To get the Still Dead weapon sticker, you need to get 10 kills with an extreme magnification scope equipped to a sniper, so, pretty easy. Deploy 5 counter UAV, or advanced UAV kill streaks to get the Tall Order camo. To get the Sparkle and Shine camo, you'll need to get 15 operator kills with an Akimbo attachment equipped to any weapon. After that, you'll need to get 7 hipfire operator kills with the TYR or Basilisk pistol in order to get the Bricked camo, and then finally, to get the Permanent Pause charm, you'll need to perform 3 finishing moves on operators, and that's actually a pretty slick charm. And once you complete all of that, you'll get the Badge Test and Balloon Test skins for Jabber, which we'll go ahead and look at now. This is a callback for the players that have been playing since the beta, because if you completed the beta, you unlocked the Tester skin, which was essentially like this test dummy here. It was pretty cool. I never used this skin too much, but I still thought it was pretty cool and quirky. But, as to kind of do a callback to that at the end of the year here, they have the Badge Test skin and the Balloon Test skin. And if you're wondering what the difference is between the two, there's literally no difference. Badge Test just says back to the drawing board, and it's just, it's sort of like the Tester skin, except, I guess, sort of revamped, has the goggles on and all that, and then the Balloon Test is exactly that, but it has a balloon. And as I mentioned before, on the way to fully completing the MW3 Rewind event, you're going to be unlocking 6 camos along the way, 5 of them being animated, 1 of them not being animated, so we'll just go ahead and run through all of them now. First up, this is the Cloudy Day camo, and I really like how this one looks. It's got that real nice light blue aesthetic. It's the same kind of light blue that you would have seen on like the DSi back in the day, which was like one of my favorite colors for that system, but then you got the clouds going through it, and yeah, it looks great. After that, we have the Live Laugh Lava camo, which is probably going to be the one that most people end up rocking. I know I'm going to be using this one quite a bit, and it sort of gives me flashbacks to Black Ops 3. If you guys remember the Gorod Crovey Pack-a-Punch camos, it reminds me a lot of that, except like animated, real flowing through the weapon. It looks insane. After that, we got the Sparkle and Shine camo, which is, it's pretty basic. It alternates between black and white, white and black, but, it still looks clean. After that, we got the Bricked camo, and, yeah, I probably won't be rocking this one too much, but, it's kind of cool. It's kind of quirky if you want to switch it up, I guess. And then here we got the Tall Order camo, which, yeah, it's got a bunch of giraffes all over it, and I'm honestly going to be rocking this one quite a bit just because it's really derpy. And then finally, we have my personal favorite camo from this event, that being Sunset Armageddon, which gives you those real cool synthwave vibes. I absolutely love this vibe, this aesthetic. I am all here for it. So out of all the camos, this is probably the one that I'll be rocking the most, but they all look like absolutely fantastic. If you notice that I stuttered a bit before I said absolutely fantastic, that's because Bricked camo popped into my mind, and it's like, yeah, that's probably the one questionable one, but all around, they still all look great. And just when you thought I was done talking about new stuff, we actually have some more new stuff to go over that they added to the game. So for completing every set of weekly challenges in Season 6 of Modern Warfare 3 / Warzone, you unlock the Drawn and Quartered camo, and again, as I mentioned before, similar to all the other camos like Allegiances, Rotten Inferno, and all that, all you gotta do is complete at least 5 weekly challenges from each of the sets of weekly challenges, and since the season is a bit shorter, there's only 4 that you have to complete, so, you know, it's not like the other ones where you gotta do a full 8 weeks, it's just 4 weeks this time, and this game is honestly pretty cool. You know, it's got like the glowing eyes on it and all the crazy teeth and stuff. Is it the most flashy out of all the seasonal camos that we've gotten so far? Absolutely not. Does it still look great though? Yeah, it really fits the Halloween aesthetic, and personally, this is definitely one of my favorites that we've gotten. Definitely a lot better than Season 1's with that awful Coherence camo. Unfortunately, this camo won't transfer over to Black Ops 6, but I'll still be using it in Warzone, because it's one of those camos where, you know, it's flashy, but it's not bright enough to, like, give your player model away when you're in the final circle of Warzone by any means. So yeah, I'll definitely be using this one a ton over there during this next year. And then finally, in typical Sledgehammer fashion, they went out with a bang and gave us a real quirky one to end off the year. So with this being the final set of like weekly challenges and final season, everything like that, what is the final thing that Sledgehammer's gonna give us to unlock? Well, they decided to take the most useless weapon in Modern Warfare 3 and make it actually useful. So they added the Jack Voltstorm kit, and as I alluded to before, you have to complete the final set of weekly challenges in Season 6 in order to unlock this aftermarket part. And essentially, rather than just being an absolutely useless EMP like it was before, where it's good for kill streaks, but, you know, when it comes to actually hurting players, the only way you're gonna be able to hurt players is by punching them with it, but with this, you can actually hurt players now. So at a range, it looks pretty terrible. Am I even able to kill him at a range like this? Yeah, I don't think I can. However, don't worry, that's not actually how it is in-game. In-game, this thing is a one-shot. Unfortunately, it isn't just like you run up and shoot it. You do have to charge it a bit, so you kind of have to be anticipating or know where your shot's going to go before you do it. But not only is it a one-shot kill as long as you're within, you know, a decent range, but apparently, according to the description anyway, high-voltage electricity is cycled through copper coils and discharged in a lethal bolt capable of hitting multiple targets. So I don't know if by multiple targets it's saying, like, okay, if you shoot one person and one's behind them, it could potentially kill them or damage them in some way, or if it's saying that it works like a Tempest did back in like Black Ops 3, where you shoot one person and it chains to another person, or sort of like the Wunderwaffe does in Zombies. The only reason I say apparently, or I don't know, is because I actually haven't been able to like make this happen in game. Like, I've had some players that are close to each other, but I haven't exactly been able to kill multiple at once, so I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to do some more testing on that, but still, I mean, if this is sort of like a mini Return of the Tempest, I'm all here for it. And if there was any weapon for them to end off with for the year, I mean, you know, again, going out in typical Sledgehammer fashion, just doing something fun and quirky and making one of the basically most useless weapon in the game actually useful, and I'm all here for it. It's a lot of fun to use. They also got double XP on across the board right now, so I'm assuming that that's gonna go for like the entire weekend. And in terms of modes in the game, yeah, again, I'm pretty sure this is basically just where we're ending things off of there. We've got the small map mosh pit and all the shipments 24/7, which I'm assuming are just gonna be there infinitely now. And then we have Minefield, which is always a lot of fun. Havoc, which is a fantastic mode, one of my favorites that they've added to the game. Get Higher, Snipers Only Arcade, Infected Mutation, Horde Point, which I'm so glad that Horde Point isn't just some LTM, Lost to the Void. No, they're finally just leaving it in the game, which is what I was begging for the entire year. It's like, if Call of Duty World War II can do it, Modern Warfare 3 can do it as well. So I'm glad that they're leaving this in the game, because I can tell you right now, Horde Point is actually one of my most played modes in this game, because, I mean, anytime that I get on now, sure, I still bounce around between like 10v10 Mosh Pit and Quick Play just so I can play a variety of the maps, but man, just playing on Horde Point is so much fun, because obviously I'm a huge Zombies player, but I also love multiplayer, so combining those two things surprisingly works really well. It's still competitive, but it's not too competitive to where you like just want to give up on the game. Like, it's just that a nice balance of casual, but still somewhat competitive. The 10v10 Mosh Pit War Mode, which is another one that's always been one of my favorites in this game. It's a shame that it didn't get supported that much. Yeah, we got Operation Tin Man and Spearhead. I really wish we could have seen some more, because I feel like this mode really could have taken off, because it was pretty popular back in like World of War, and especially World War II once it made its return, but again, unfortunately, just really didn't see that level of support. I'm assuming it's because it takes a long time to script, you know, war missions compared to other ones, or maybe just not as many people are playing it. But again, it's a shame, because that mode always was a lot of fun. The Cutthroat mode, Blueprint and Gunfight, Ground War, and Invasion. And again, that's kind of the playlist that we have at the end of the year, along with all the usual stuff in the Quick Play, which they've added a decent amount throughout the year, so I'm pretty happy with this. It's also pretty cool that they finally give us like a Vortex Mosh Pit. I know that this has technically been in the game for a bit of time now, but I remember I was like begging for it for the longest time. Like, can you guys please just give us an option to like keep playing these so it doesn't just disappear or whatever when the Vortex mode goes away? So thankfully we have that forever now. And yeah, again, just kind of ending off the year here with all the different playlists that are available in the game, and I'm assuming we'll just kind of be here infinitely now, looking up and down at everything that we've been able to unlock throughout the year, whether that be event camos, skins, operators, you know, all the other fun stuff in the events with like charms and decals and emblems and calling cards, all the battle passes that we've had. It's honestly been a fantastic year. It's one of those things where obviously we're all used to the Call of Duty cycle at this point. You know, I mean, you know, I've been with this Call of Duty cycle since Finest Hour on the PS2, right? Like, I've been doing this year after year for almost as long as I can remember at this point. Yet still, every time we get to the end of a Call of Duty year, it's always just really bittersweet, especially with something like Modern Warfare 3, where it's just like, you know, in the past I've had a really hard time saying goodbye to games. You know, like last year in Modern Warfare 2, I remember, like, specifically in that last season, playing a bunch of infected matches and just having a smile across my face the entire time, just being really sad because I didn't want to say goodbye to that game. So I had a lot of fun last year, but man, this year, I feel like this year I have, like, in a way, more of an attachment to this game, even just because, you know, there were zombies in this game, as I've said before. The games that have both multiplayer and zombies in them, I typically end up putting just a bit more time into, because if I need my zombies fixed, I'm not running back to a previous game. I'm able to just hop on the current game and get my, you know, zombies fixed there. Obviously, I still go back and play Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2 all the time, literally on a weekly basis, in fact, but, you know, the modern game also still has, like, a zombies option, and similar with, like, how Black Ops 6 is coming up, so if I need my zombies fixed and I want to play some of the new stuff, I'll have that there. So I already know I'm going to be putting a ton of time into Black Ops 6. I already did during the beta, but, I mean, during Modern Warfare 3 even, I mean, dude, I'm literally approaching quad-digit hours on this game, and I'm not even kidding about that. I loved every single aspect about this game. The campaign, I know that was pretty controversial when it released, but honestly, I thoroughly enjoy the campaign. I enjoy the story just because I love the characters. I love Task Force 141. I love being able to hang out with Ghost and Soap and Price and just see what fun adventures are gonna go on. I know, so, you know, like, I can admit, like, yeah, sure, the wars, when it comes to, like, the open combat missions, I would say for the future, I'd probably prefer if they could just kind of stick to the usual tried and true formula that Call of Duty campaigns tend to stick to. I mean, obviously, experiment and, you know, try to innovate and do fun things. And I'm glad that they did try to innovate in a way, but it felt, I don't want to say that it didn't feel like an innovation, but it definitely kind of came across as, like, okay, we didn't necessarily have enough time to script all this stuff, so we're just gonna let you kind of run wild and make your own fun and chaos of these missions. Or hey, maybe that was something that they actually had planned for a while, but it's one of those things where, like, it was a very fun concept. It's just that it did feel a bit Warzone-ified, and it felt less like a typical Call of Duty campaign with a linear, you know, put together structure in terms of, like, they knew where the story was gonna go, and more just like kind of an open sandbox, but there wasn't enough sandbox elements to really justify being a sandbox, so I kind of ended up just finding myself rushing through the objectives and just kind of playing it like a normal Call of Duty campaign anyway, which is probably why I really didn't mind the whole open combat thing, is because I ended up playing it like a classic Call of Duty campaign anyway. I clicked the button, saw where I was supposed to go, went, shot the guys and left. So that's why I'm saying, like, I didn't mind the open combat stuff, though, if, you know, for, like, Modern Warfare 4 or whatever comes next, yeah, you know, I'd be cool if they just do the tried and true linear formula, do a couple fun and quirky missions like in Modern Warfare 2, where they kind of, you know, break things off, and you have missions like Alone, because Alone is, like, one of the most memorable missions in Call of Duty history, in my opinion. It's such a fantastic mission. I love when they do stuff like that, and if they want to do a whole campaign like that, where they just, like, innovate and try different things, go for it. Otherwise, though, I'm really excited to see where things go for the next Modern Warfare game. And again, if they want to try open combat missions again, I am all here for it. I would just say my only advice might be just to maybe add some more into the sandbox. Because again, I love the sandbox idea. It's just that I still found myself playing it like a classic Call of Duty thing anyway. So I think maybe just sprinkling in some side objectives or something like that might even help. As far as the multiplayer goes, I mean, the amount of videos I've made on this game, the amount of time I put into the game speaks for itself. I absolutely love the multiplayer in this game. This is one that I know year after year, even after, like, new Call of Duties come out, I will be returning to this one just to play for fun, just because it's a really satisfying multiplayer, and, you know, there was a lot of fun unlockables to go for, so there's always gonna be reasons to return, because honestly, at this point, we've unlocked so much stuff throughout the year that, you know, it almost feels brand new by the time that you go back and use something that we unlocked back during, like, Season 1 or 2, just because there's been so much added to the game between all the different camo, skins, and weapons and all that. So, you know, there was a lot of content, there was a ton of maps, there's like 40 plus, almost 50 maps at this point, which is absolutely insane. There's obviously a ton of weapons, because not only do we have all the Modern Warfare 3 weapons, but we also have all the Modern Warfare 2 ones, and then, you know, going for the Mastery camos was a lot of fun in this game, so, and kill streaks felt great in this game as well. I'm glad that they finally brought back looping kill streaks. I've been begging for that for years, so I mean, I literally have no complaints with the multiplayer, man. The movement felt great, the maps were great, the weapons were great, the TTK was great. I really enjoyed 150 HP, and the kill streaks were great. So, I mean, if there's anything I could say about the kill streaks is maybe if they could feel just a bit more impactful like they did back in the day. I do still feel like in this game they were just a touch weak, but they were definitely a bit more powerful than they have been in some of the recent years. At least I found some of them to be a bit more useful because, like, you know, you go back to like Cold War, for example, and you could take out a sentry turret with 2 melee attacks, and it's like, okay, what was that, dude? Not dissing Cold War, of course, because that's one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, genuinely. But, yeah, so, well, we'll see how that goes with Black Ops 6 in terms of the kill streaks. I'm hoping that they're just a bit more powerful. I don't know if I necessarily need them to be as crazy as they were in, like, the original MW2 from '09, for example, but, I mean, just a nice middle ground there. If they want to dial back the kill streaks, at least just, you know, don't nerf them into the ground to a point of where it's just sort of like, alright, I'd probably be better off running and gunning, because, like, using the chopper gunner in this game, sometimes when I'm using it, like, yeah, it's fun, you know, causing havoc, but at the same time, if you're just trying to rely on the bullets and not the rockets that come with it, which you only get 8 rockets with it, yeah, it's sort of like, hey, I might, you know, I almost feel like I could be getting more kills if I'd be on the ground right now, or just continuing that streak, but otherwise, I'm moving over to zombies. I've spoken my piece on zombies. I really enjoyed zombies in this game and the whole gameplay loop, you know, the whole going in, going out, you know, the whole extraction shooter concept. I thought it was a lot of fun. I genuinely enjoyed it. I just wish that the mode could have gotten a little more support, because, I mean, we were hearing, not even like midway through the year, that they were basically pulling support off the game, and they were like, hey, there's not going to be too much coming out yet. We still ended up getting like a full season's worth of like story missions and content and all that, and the final boss was so epic. That being said, when you look at the launch of the game and how much content was there compared to where it was at by the time that the game ended, again, just going off of what we were hearing behind the scenes and the fact that, you know, there was even some devs saying like, yeah, we kind of pulled support for zombies, we're just focused on the multiplayer and getting through the rest of the year now. Yeah, you know, it would have been cool to see if maybe they could have, I don't know, like what really could have happened with the mode if they were able to just put their all into it, have the same crew that was working at it through the initial development, stick through it throughout the entire year, how much content we could have gotten, what crazy, like, offshoot things we could have gotten in the mode, whether that be new contracts, or maybe even, like, mini modes inside of it. I don't know, at this point, I'm just rambling. This is one of those things where I'm happy where with Zombies is at, you know, like, we got a lot of amazing content, and I mean, if you go in now blind, and you're trying to start from scratch, yeah, you have probably, like, 100 plus hours, if not almost 200 hours worth of content to get through, just in terms of from the time that it takes to actually learn the modes, complete all the different content, get all the schematics, you know, go through all the Dark Aether rifts and do all that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna take you a while to do, so there is a lot of content there. It's just for the players that stuck with it throughout the year and grinded out all the content as it came out, it didn't necessarily feel that way, if that makes sense. But I mean, again, there was still a lot of substantial content. If you're starting from scratch nowadays, there's still a lot for you to get through. My only real worry with zombies is that, obviously, with it being an online-only mode, that eventually it's gonna, you know, kind of die, and that's going to be it, because once you don't have enough players to fill up a lobby, Modern Warfare Zombies is officially dead. You can't start the match unless you have enough players to start a match, so unless they remove that requirement or add a solo or offline mode, MWZ is going to die a very slow and sad death, and I mean, it's just going to be that. It's literally going to be unplayable one day just because of its status as an online-only mode. So beyond all the content and all that, that is a worry for the future, but otherwise, again, I'm very happy with Modern Warfare Zombies. It was absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love it, and I will be returning to it in the future. It's just, again, it's one of those things where it could have been cool to see what it would have been like if they were allowed to keep the same size crew that they had during the initial development and pump out tons of content throughout the year. So then on each of the roadmaps, the zombie section could have been a bit larger, but again, I'm still happy with where it's at. I had a lot of fun with the mode and still got hundreds of hours out of it. I would give my, you know, final year-end review of Warzone here, but I mean, Warzone, it's one of those things where it's been around for, what, like 4, almost 5 years now, and you know, Warzone is kind of like its own beast. I feel like I'd almost have to dedicate an entire video to that, just covering, like, the evolution of Warzone so far, rather than just Warzone this year, because, like, you know, Warzone this year was great. They had a bunch of, like, fun LTMs, and I enjoyed playing on Urzic stand and all that, but, you know, there's not much else to say besides that, because, like, Warzone is basically, I mean, this year, the only real difference was that, okay, there was a new map, they have some LTMs, and, you know, the movement is more aligned with MW3 rather than MW2s, so that's really all I'll have to say on that. It's not that, you know, Warzone was inherently bad this year or anything. It's just that it was just like it was last year. You know, it's good. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoy Warzone. It's just that I don't have much to say because it's just, it is what it has been. You know what I mean? It's just a fun battle royale, and that's that. But really enjoyed Warzone this year. They brought back some fun LTMs, introduced some new ones, and yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do with Warzone and Black Ops 6. But anyways, that's that. That's kind of my year-end mini review of Modern Warfare 3 there, and again, I'm really sad to see this game go, but it was a great year and I had a lot of fun. As they say, don't be sad that it's over, be happy that it happened. But anyway, as always, a massive shout out, thank you to all the patrons and channel members, thank you to all of you in the low baller tier, and an even bigger shout out, thank you to all the mid baller tier, Mellow Asking, and Big Dynamite, and the biggest shout out, thank you to all of you in the G tier, Ron Evans, and Luchi Scroll. Thank you guys so much, you guys are literal legends. I love you. Have an amazing day, stay beautiful, I love you all. Peace.